party people coming at you live from Saudi Arabia. Allow me to show you our temporary living space as I tell you why we're in a temporary living space. Let's go. Of course you have the front door, the bathroom, the kitchen. Yes, that's a hot plate. These are the things we need to take to get cleaned from a different place because we don't have a washing machine. I cleaned it today, can you tell? Computer. Nice couch, very comfortable. Window number 1, and by number 1 I mean only, but look at that, a beautiful view of the wall. Hello, don't worry, I am in pants. These are all the things that we don't need. Except for Robert's banjo. Ta-da! Always need a banjo. The fridge, brand new, hence all the white things. Of course, we have important things in the fridge like rice, soy sauce, and milk. And then you have the bedroom. And you think to yourself, wow, Ellie B's got a nice big window because look at these big curtains. And you would be wrong. No window, just padding. Por qué? We don't know. Welcome to our home. Oh, fireworks. Okay, Mom's gonna be so mad that my fireworks work and hers don't. So, as you just saw, our apartment, it's not the apartment, it's an apartment. I was so hopeful in the last video. I went to watch to see like, oh, what did I say we would be doing? Let's find out. So I went back and watched part of it and gosh, I really was hopeful, wasn't I? Anywho, we did in fact drive. We did not scuba 2 Sundays ago. Nope, didn't do that. They didn't get back to us in time and that's fine because we had a lot to do. We had to pack our entire apartment. They took everything, so we grabbed the stuff that we still needed, kind of made sure everything was A-okay, ready to rock and roll, checked all the paperwork for the car, blah, blah, blah. I did get my last big day with Massa, which was lovely. We went and painted that place that we usually like to paint. I tried to do another vase to match the first vase that I have, so it was the same style. It turned out a little too blue, but it was still pretty. Obviously, we went and picked them up. I'm getting ahead of myself. I did my big last day with Massa. We practiced with her hair. We did all the fun stuff we could do. Snuggled all night. And then Sunday, we packed our stuff, and then we went to a game night with Massa and Trevor at like a board game cafe, which is pretty cool. Had an Oreo milkshake for dinner, obviously. And that was a blast. I won every game except for Smartass. Robert won by like barely. Only because I got so many right that I had to keep staying out of rounds. Whatever. He's actually, yeah, he was smarter. But the ones that I knew. And then Monday, we did do the big drive. We had everything we needed. Robert went to the RTA like 5 times, which is the like Road Transportation Authority or something like that. And he even had like a translator with him, or that was like already there, someone who spoke perfect English and Arabic to like make sure we had everything we needed. Our drive, we saw so much. We saw so much sand, and we saw some sand, and we also saw some sand. So, like, you know, not the most fun drive. I only slept for an hour at the end, so I, like, made it the whole way. Peed on the side of the road twice, but we did, so we got to the Dubai, or to the UAE Saudi border, and we got through, and then they were like, oh, you're here as a tourist, and we were like, nope, we're moving. That's why we have all of our things in the car. And they were like, you don't have the right license plate. And we were like, yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. And they're like, no, you don't. You have to have this license plate. And we were like, nope. We went to the RTA. Like, they told us everything we needed. And they were like, no, you need to turn around and go back to Dubai. And we were like, And Robert is, like, so firm when he speaks Arabic. And it's like, I didn't know what he was saying. But the gist was this. The guy saying, you need to go back to Dubai. And Robert saying, yeah, I'm not doing that. So pick another option, because I'm not doing that. And they went back and forth, and Robert was like, I'm not going to leave until you give me another solution. And this poor little fellow was like, fine, go talk to my boss. And we were like, okay. So we Karen'd, and we went and talked to the boss. Well, Robert went and talked. I just sat there like the whole time. And the boss was like, you'll be fine. Just go. You'll be fine. And we were like, really? And he was like, yeah, you're fine. And we were like, okay. So we went through it, but that was like after an hour and a half. And then they went through our stuff, and they were like, what's in these bags? Because our car was, like, full of stuff. And Robert said, clothes. And he said, okay. And, like, stopped looking. I'm like, okay, well, we could have smuggled. We didn't.
whoever's watching this video, we did not smuggle anything. But I'm going, it doesn't feel like a very thorough check. Just like us being able to say clothes. But it was. And a banjo. And then he was like, what's that? And Robert's like, it's like a guitar, but also not. And he was like, oh. But so we continued our long journey. It was very boring. We listened to a lot of crime. Went through different dog names if we ever got a dog. Talked about the paint colors of like our dream house. Discussed what we're moving into things. Discussed what we wanted to do for New Year's. We might go to Morocco. Who knows? So yeah, the trip could have been more fun, but it also could have been way worse. You know, we could have not had each other. So there was always that. Then we got into into Riyadh, and we got a hotel because Robert called the people and they weren't answering. So he was like, okay, we'll get a hotel tonight and then we'll move in tomorrow. I'm like, perf. So Tuesday he calls because remember Monday is Saudi National Day. So and nothing was open. So he's got a hotel like kind of downtown. And Tuesday Robert called, this is a week ago, Robert called the apartment place, like the compound place. And they were like, oh yeah, well, you have to pay in full. And he was like, no, I discussed it with them that we would move in, and my company, like they have like a whole procedure with the company specifically that's like a loan that the company will pay in full so that we don't have, like, who can pay in full for a whole year? Like, it was bizarre. And they were like, well, we're not doing that anymore. And Robert's like, okay, well, we're here and our stuff is supposed to be delivered here. So what do we do? And they were like, no, we don't know, but bummer, but we can't hold your apartment for you. And Robert's like, yes, you can, because you said you would. It was a whole kerfluffle. So then we were in a hotel until Friday. So in a hotel from Monday to Friday. And Saturday, we got an Airbnb, but I got on a plane to back to Dubai because Massa had one of her dress fittings. And she and I had come up with some ideas. And so we needed both of our brain power to go through the ideas because it's like pulling somewhere weird. So we're like, if we did something to the back. So I got to go. We hung out on Saturday. I spent the night with her and Trevor. And then we actually stayed up really late on Saturday night looking at Google Maps of North Korea because they have like some satellite photos of North Korea, and we were like bewildered. To me, the DMZ is like I don't know, no man's land. It wasn't just like a wall. Like I thought it would be like, like a football field length, like between the countries that like didn't belong to any country, but like I couldn't find the DMZ on the map, and we looked really hard. Anyway, that was what we did Saturday night, and then Sunday we adventured. We went to Ras Al Khaimah, which is like an hour away. Got our nails done. Ding. This makes them look like they're like peachy, but they're more of an orange. And then we had her appointment. So we just pretty much went around. We got stuck in a rainstorm, which was wild, like thunderstorm. And she was like, nobody knows how to drive in rain in Dubai because, it doesn't rain. So naturally, I was like, let's pull over because everybody's driving crazy. So we pulled underneath this like gas station, which I was a little sketched about because it was like lightning hardcore. Like it was lightning before it even started raining. And I'm like, I don't know how comfortable I am being at a gas station in the lightning storm. But she was like, it's fine. So we're under there. And then the power went out of the gas station. Like we heard it. Like we're sitting under the like canopy and we hear it's like behind us. Like the thunder, I swear, was like right here. And I said, it hit something. Like that was loud enough that it hit something. And then we look up and all the power is out in the whole gas station. Like the whole like side of our road. I'm like, all right, we're going to get back on the road. So we get through the thunderstorm. We're like, ooh, gosh, that was scary. Lots of rain. And then like 20 minutes later, we get in a sandstorm. And then we can't see anything because it's all sandy. I'm like, what is going on? We got in 2 sandstorms that day. 2. It was apocalyptic. It was wild. But she tried on her dress and everything. And it was beautiful. So beautiful. And then Robert met me on Sunday night because our friend Dan was in Dubai. And so Robert came in on Sunday and we stayed in a hotel in Dubai. And then Monday we played with Dan. Like Monday night. 2 nights ago. No, it was Wednesday. Yeah, 2 nights ago. We played with Dan, and we like went to dinner. We hung out. It was like this nice Greek place. I ate a lot of tzatziki. I could have spooned the tzatziki into my mouth. It was so good. And then Tuesday, we did some work, and then we went to I was on the phone with an hour and a half with Chase because I wanted to use my points to get my plane ticket home for Christmas. Like, we were going to use our points. And you can't share points and all that jazz. So I was like, that's fine. Mine is basically a whole ticket. So I called and they were like, oh, sorry. Like after 30 minutes of putting all my information in, they're like, oh, because I was getting an error when I was trying to do it myself. It was like, oh, nope, the fares have changed. The fares have changed. And I'm like, there's no way the fares have changed. So I called. I spoke with Kayla. She was lovely. And Kayla was like, we'll do it together. So we did it. And she was like, oh, the fares have changed. I'll try again. And she did it again. So that's already like 35 minutes. Because every time you have to put in all your information and she has to read it back to me in like freaking aviation code or whatever it is. Like B for Bravo, R for Romeo, A for Alpha, N for Nevada. And I'm like, yes, you've typed in my email 4 times now. So she pops back up and it's like, the fares have changed. And she was like, oh, they're out of seats in standard economy. And I was like, what? This far out, they're out of seats? And she was like, yeah, you can do premium economy. I said, well, how much is the price difference? She goes, oh, let me check. Well, standard economy, call it $1,600. Premium economy was $3,000. I was like, $3,000 US dollars for still economy? Like, I'm still sitting in the back of the plane. I'm going to pay $3,000. No, I'm not. So I said, no, I don't think so. So then we were looking at different days or whatever. And so we decided, okay, we're going to go in a different day. So we put in all the information and it said the same thing. And she was like, no, I know there's seats for this one. Like, I know there are. And so then I was like, look, can we try like a different way or something? Cause like, I don't think it's right. Like Chase does this sometimes where it'll be like, oh, they're out of the cheaper seats. You have to buy the bigger seat. And like, no, they're not. They're not. On the website, they're not out of the cheaper seats. So she's like, let me try to go in the back way. I'm like, thank you, Kayla. And at this point, we're at like 45 minutes. And so she goes in the back way, and there are seats available on the original day we're going home. So I'm like, oh, okay. Yes. So she's like, but I have to do everything manually. I'm like, okay, great. So then sweet Kayla's having to go through everything again. Passport number, phone number, email address, full name, expiration date, birthday, issuing country, all of it hand typed. I'm like, oh my God. But we did it. And I said, Kayla, honey, how annoying is it going to be for you if I just hand the phone to my husband so that he can do it on his account instead of him having to call someone and go through the same process? And she was like, oh my gosh, no, of course. So then I had to hand it to him. So then the 32-minute drive to the airport, Robert was on the phone doing the same thing. Yes, R for Romeo, O for Oregon, or what the hell ever, B for Bravo, E for Echo, R for whatever. And so we finally got our tickets. And I did get a confirmation that we got our tickets, so PTL, praise the Lord. But so yeah, we're coming home. I'll be honest, I've been very homesick. I just want a hug from my relatives, and I want to snuggle Liberty and Wallace and Lulu. And I want to play cards with my grandma, and I want to visit my other grandma, and I want cousins, and I want to hug my mom and decorate for Christmas, and I want to hug my dad and eat his food. So I'm just very much missing home, and I'm tired of not speaking the language, and I'm tired of not finding what I want in the grocery store and being hungry and not having a kitchen. And I think Robert and I are both just really tired right now. Like, it's not just me, it's the both of us. We're just really tired. And so all this moving, and now we're in an Airbnb, and we're hoping to get into our apartment hopefully this week. We hope. And then we go to Turkey next weekend, and then the next weekend's the bachelorette party for Massa, and then the next weekend is the wedding for Massa, and then the next weekend I think we go to Azerbaijan for 2 weeks, and then I think we're going to go to a Christmas market in Bulgaria or Romania. One of our big reasons we were like, yeah, we'll move back to Saudi, like it won't be that bad, it's just a year. They have so many Wizz Air flights, because if you remember, when we first moved here, they had like 15 countries in Europe they went to with Wizz Air. Like Italy had like 3 different airports, and we went to Naples for like $26, literally. And so I was looking, because I knew they used to go to Sofia, which I think is Bulgaria. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, good. We'll just go to Sofia for some Christmas markets, because it's a Wizz Air flight and it's cheap and it's fun and whatever. No, they've taken all their Wizz Air flights away, and the only ones they go to are Rome and Milan, Budapest, and Vienna. And like, I don't want to sound like, but like, I've already been to those places. So like, I guess I could fly in and then train somewhere else, but it's not actually close to any of the places we want to go. Like, none of those cities are close to the cities we want to go to. So, and it's like a weekend. We'd want to go on a weekend. So we'd want to go on like a Thursday night and come back on a Saturday night, because that's the weekend here in Saudi, and none of them are working that way. So we're going to figure it out, but we want to go, we think, to like a Bulgaria or a Romania or something like that. Robert was like, let's go to Bosnia. I'm like, I've already been to Bosnia. Drove in myself. Accidentally drove through someone's yard. And they were like, you can't go this way. And I was like, I know, I'm sorry. The map is wrong. Anyway, that's what we got a lot going on. So I think we're tired now, and we're going to be even more tired later in the future. I'm trying to remain positive. And I've gotten back into running, which is good. And I've sent off, oh my gosh, hello, I've sent off chapters 1 through 10 of my book to be edited. Still waiting on my wonderful beta readers to get back to me on the last, half-ish of the book. But we're doing a new thing, and I know I've said it 5 times, but I'll just say it again. Where, I'm sending her, the chapters in chunks on Word, because Google Doc, I have a beef with Google Doc. Google Doc is, you can only do so many comments on one document because of the cloud space. I'm like, the cloud is not real. It's infinite. There should be space forever. So, because of the cloud space thing, you can only do so many comments. So my editor, when she would be editing, she would be stuck. If you can only have 100 comments, at 100 comments, she'd be stuck and she couldn't keep commenting. So she had to wait until I woke up to see that she said, hey, it's run into the problem, and I have to make a copy of the document and send it to her so that she could start commenting. It was just too much. So she's going to do it on a Word doc. I'm going to edit it on a Word doc. And when it's done, I'm going to put it back into the Google Doc, edited, a new thing. So it's the whole thing. Fingers crossed. I also got a author website. It took me forever. Was on a lovely chat with a fella in India who helped me with it via the website, the portal I was using. It's very helpful. I think he was a fella. I don't know. He said ma'am a lot, and I just don't feel like ladies call each other ma'am. But anyway, they were very helpful. I do have a website. I will link it below. There's going to be a lot of links below because last weekend, I'm sure everyone watching this knows, because everyone watching this is the 5 people who are in my family. The Southeast was hit with a horrible hurricane. I feel like I'm just kind of saying things you already know at this point. But Hurricane Helene, totally effed up the Southeast. Hit Florida, but Florida's good at hurricanes. They're literally on the ocean. Hit western North Carolina in the mountains, and they were not prepared because why would they be? Why would they be? It's mountains. You would never think you would need a hurricane route in the mountains. And so whole towns are just gone, and people are displaced, and people are gone and missing, and it's awful and terrible, and it makes me want to throw up that there's a thing that we can do. We're not there to help. But with that being said, Rebecca, Robert's older sister, is there to help. And so she and her husband, they have been driving up and down, taking diapers and water and dog food and formula and non-perishables and money and water, because they need water. And they're going to do a search and rescue. And they're doing everything they can, since they're there and they have a truck, to help the people of the more rural places. Asheville and Boone are talked about because they're big and there's colleges there, and people are there, and the Biltmore's there. But it's the smaller towns that still don't even have National Guard there yet. And so that's Nate and Rebecca are kind of focusing their attention there, which is good, because there's people need to know that there are other towns that are just gone. Chimney Rock is just gone. So they're doing that. And so I'm going to put some links that they've sent us on ways to help. I know people want to help. And so if you're listening to me say it's horrible and terrible and they need things, as much help as it is to go and volunteer, I would definitely call a volunteer center and ask before just showing up. They're running into an issue where people are just showing up and being I'm going to help. And if you don't have a group that you're with, or someone in charge of you, you're a bit more of a liability. So just do some research before you just drive up there. And but and instead of just donating random things you think that they need, I would definitely see what they need, because they're starting to become very vocal with what they need, which is good for people donating. So instead of being I think they need spaghetti, you need boiling water to make spaghetti, right? You need fresh boiling water to make spaghetti. So that's not, it's non-perishable, but that's not helpful. So I would just check the links that I'm going to put in the video below, just to make sure what you're sending is actually beneficial to the people who are in need. And if you have time, money, resources, whatever, obviously send it that direction, because it's not doing too hot, and it's really upsetting. I mean, it's sad regardless, but Robert feels not responsible because he doesn't control the weather, but he wishes he was there and he could do something to help. I mean, it's really weighing heavy on him. So whatever you can do to help is always helpful. And that's pretty much it from us. This weekend is our kind of hope we move in weekend, and then we go to Turkey with the Harts. And we really hope our stuff is here by then, because if not, I'm going to have to buy all new clothes. because I only have 2 pairs of pants. Because I didn't think I would need them. Because I thought, oh, I'll just wear 2 pairs of pants for 2 weeks and then boom, my stuff will be here and I'll be in an apartment. And alas, I'm not in an apartment yet, so. Oh, and a little funny little thing just to like lighten the spirits at the end. I went to the gym at the hotel. We were here in Saudi, in Riyadh. Because I was like, I'm going to get back into running. But obviously I've taken it slow. That's only 1 yawn. I would like to point out. I almost went a whole thing without a yawn. And so I went to the gym and the guy was like, girls side, and pointed to like this tiny door. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm back in Saudi. It's like, yeah, of course, whatever, like fine, men are gross anyway. So I went in and I'm like, okay, this is like lockers and a bathroom and like a shower. I'm like, whatever. Maybe a lot of women don't exercise in this place. Like meaning the hotel. I'm like, okay. So I'm looking for the gym. Can't find it. I like peek out and there's like a tiny little pool, but like the men's gym faces it. So I'm like, there's no way this is like the pool. Also, it was supposed to be under construction. And then I see across the way, across the pool courtyard, as it were, a tiny little door that says women's gym. And I'm like, no way. So I go into the broom cupboard that's been converted to a gym, and it has a treadmill in the corner, like, and then like 2 bikes, but not like sitting, like they're like elliptical bikes, but they look they're from the 80s. And then it has, just 1 and then a bench actually, or maybe it's 2 and a bench. It's all very, very full. I could like touch. If I laid down, I could touch like this and with my feet on the wall because it was so small. And then it had some weights, some free weights. Lucky us ladies. It was 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound, 4 pound, and 9 pound. Because that's all we ladies can lift. Oh, up to 9 pounds. What do we need more for? So I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This is hilarious. So then, of course, naturally, I took a video. So it'll be in there. Anyway, that's all from me. It felt like it was short, but it seems to be long, so my apologies. Yeah, I'm going to link my website. I'm going to link ways to help Western North Carolina. And I think that's everything. Yeah. All right. Well, see you probably after our turkey trip, unless something crazy happens before then. Toodaloo.
Okay, goodbye apartment in Dubai. We'll see you later. Bye.
Hello.
Bye. Bye. And so it begins. 10 hours on the clock. Robert. All right, technically our second stop of the day. First one was at a place called The Last Exit, and it's one of our favorite stops near Abu Dhabi. And now we're headed towards the border. We stopped to get gas at this gas station. There's been nothing around us. We saw what we think is quicksand. Lots of salt, like Dead Sea salt looking stuff. Pretty cool. It's been about 3.5 hours. Robert, could you crank the car because it's very hot? And yeah, we think we're getting closer to the border, but we're not quite confident. Anyway, go team. Less than 1,000 miles to go to Saudi Arabia. We're about to cross the border. Goodbye. We just saw the goodbye sign there's some Saudi flags for the Emirates. The Emirates is wishing us goodbye as we enter Saudi Arabia. Huzzah! All right, we're through the border. Woo!
LAB is now driving.
We just stopped at the first bathroom in Saudi. It went as expected, less than ideal, but hey, only 6 hours and 10 minutes left. Woo!
All right. We've made it to a small little stopping point. LAB is doing some exercises. You have the sea is somewhere over here. If you look over there, you can see Qatar, and it's also a desert as well. We're not going over there, but that's where it is. You can see its flags and stuff over here. Yeah, but it's very sticky, but it smells like the beach. We might be a little while getting out of our driveway.
know the phrase, separate but equal. Boys and girls have separate gyms. This is the girls. It's a broom cupboard with some equipment. Don't worry, they gave us plenty of weights, all the way up to 9 kilograms. I hope I can handle 9 kilograms. Wow. Thanks. Oh, look! Jeez. It's like windy too. It's the sandstorm, but not sandy. It's like dusty and dry. It's very like, I wish you could tell, but this is much like less clear. It's very ominous looking, like a zombie apocalypse. But it's sand and dust. Sandstorm round 2. There's a building there that you can barely see. Things are disappearing, like the sun.